Hey crafters, let's see, knitters, crocheters, yarn enthusiasts. Today is Friday, February 25th, 2022. I know I haven't posted a video in like 2 weeks. I'm sorry for that. I've been having a depressive episode, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So today, I don't have any blanket projects today. What I have is a bookshelf tour. And you'd be like, it's a crochet channel. What are you doing a bookshelf tour for? Because I have crochet books on my bookshelf. They're pattern books and stuff. Let me show them to you real quick. That's my little yellow ducky. Yeah. Oh, this one light's in the way. Anyway, those books right there. Yeah, there's Betty Barnden. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the books off the shelf and I'm going to show them all to you, read the titles and whatnot, and then we'll sit and talk about the books that I have and which ones are my favorite and which ones are not so my favorite. Anyway, I'm going to put you guys on the tripod and I'll be right back. Okay, I have Around the Corner Crochet Borders by Edie Eckman. The Crochet Stitch Bible by Betty Barnden. I have Crochet Magazine Presents Best Ever Afghans. Let's see, the date on this one says December 2011. Annie's Crochet 101 Stitches for Afghans by Jean Leinhauser. Leisure Arts 40 Favorite Ripple Afghans. Leisure Arts Our Best Baby Afghans. 100 Colorful Ripple Stitches to Crochet by Leonie Morgan. Annie's Crochet 101 Crochet Stitch Patterns and Edgings. Crochet Stitch Dictionary by Sarah Hazel. Mandalas to Crochet by Haafner Linssen. Okay, so that is a small set of books that are on my bookshelf. I actually have more crochet books that are just like that, where some of them are magazines where they take their best patterns and they stick them in a book and publish them. Some of them are just full-on crochet books with patterns and stitches and whatnot. I even have more than this. This was just what happens to be on my bookshelf. So, Around the Corner Crochet Borders by Edie Eckman. I've used this book numerous times. It's just all trim, edging, and borders that you would put on a blanket. It's a wonderful book. You can see all the little post-its I put in there for tabs. At some point I spilled a cup of tea on it and the book still held up really well. And more tabs here for my favorites in the book. Now I do have one that I've used multiple times. If you don't mind, give me a minute. I'm going to see if I can find it, okay? Because I have so many. The borders in here are listed with numbers. I think it was number 124 or something. That's my favorite. Number 120. Okay. So, you know, obviously I cannot give you the pattern itself because it's copyrighted and trademarked and stuff like that. But, you know, that little bit in the video clip, hopefully that's enough to... It's a wonderful book. There's all kinds of pattern. If you want a thick border or if you want a thin border, if you want something with a lot of different stitches, if you want it to be lacy, you know, I'm fighting the sun today. Oh boy. I wish I can give you a flip through of this book. Here we go. Ready? Flip through. There's a total of 150. Oh, it even says so on the front. I didn't even have to look. 150 colorful, creative, crocheted edgings with charts and instructions for turning the corner perfectly every time. And I'm trying to remember if I bought this brand new or if I bought it used. There's the possibility I bought it used. But this is a wonderful book to have in your collection because there's nothing worse than making a beautiful blanket and then being completely stuck on how to do a border on it. So, Crochet Borders by Edie Eckman. I would highly recommend this to have in your arsenal of tools and supplies on crocheting, okay? Because if you're anything like me, and I make my own blankets, I don't follow anybody's pattern, I do my own. So having something like this, it's good so you can figure out the best kind of border to put on your blanket. So it's a good book. Now this one, the Crochet Stitch Bible, the essential illustrated reference over 200 traditional and contemporary stitches with easy to follow charts by Betty Barnden. What I like about this is that it's spiral bound. It's got a nice good hard cover to it. And it does just simple stuff. It shows you single crochets, half doubles, extended single crochet. I didn't even know extended single crochet was a thing. Doubles, trebles, or triple crochets. It shows you textured stitches where you do a front loop only, back loop only. It shows you front posts, back posts. It gives you pairs of stitches where this is one they called the up down, where it's a single crochet in one stitch, a double in the next, then a single, then a double, so it's up down, right? Something called a spider stitch, which I loved this one. I did a whole blanket in the spider stitch, where it's a single crochet, chain one, single crochet in the same stitch. And it's almost like a V-stitch, but instead of using tall double crochets, you're using little singles. And the texture that it creates in these blankets is wonderful. They do chevrons, ripples, shells, clusters, puff stitches, bobble stitches. They do lattice, mesh, crochet. Here, I'll give you it's called Crazy Picot Mesh. So it gives you an open lace design. So this is just a stitch dictionary. It just gives you a combination of stitches, and it can give you a starting chain and multiples so you can figure out how long you need your starting chain. Let me see if I can find an example. Like this one's called Spider's Web. It is, for your starting chain, it's a multiple of 14 stitches plus 1. So, you know, you would do 14, 28, and, you know, you would figure out the length of your chain and then add 1, because that's probably your turning stitch. Now, you see? I love crochet stitch books. They're my go-to for when I want to do something myself and I want to try something different, something new. something a little more complicated. Sometimes if I just want something simple. They talk about color changes. They also have a little section on doing squares, like traditional granny square. Circles, like crochet in a circle. Hexagons. They do have something other than squares. Little flowers in the back here. Here we go. Give me 1 second. I know, I'm looking down at the book. I know. Alright, so they have a little pattern in here for a sunflower. See? And in the beginning, they show you how to hold your hook, how to hold the yarn. They give you a little bit of crochet essentials. They talk about creating a swatch, how to read the instructions, brackets, asterisks, repeats in a pattern, multiples for your starting chain, diagrams. They show you how to read a diagram. I know how to read crochet symbols. I know how to read diagrams. It talks about hooks, hook sizes, yarn. You know, like a number 1 is a lace weight, 2 is a fine or sport weight, 3 is a DK or light worsted, 4 is medium worsted Aran weight, 5 is bulky, 6 is like super bulky, you know. How to hold the yarn, how to hold your hook, and then your basic stitches. It's a really good book to have. Now this one I found, I actually have a similar one to this in different pile of books, but I don't know where it is. But this one I found at the thrift store a couple years ago. So the Crochet Stitch Bible by Betty Barnden, okay? I would highly recommend this. I have a lot of fun just flipping through it, looking for stitch combinations that I might like. You know, give me a minute. I'm going to go close that curtain. The sunlight's killing me. It's like, I want to have the sunlight because it's dark in this corner today, but not in and out behind the clouds like that. That's harsh. Alright, so what's next? CrochetMagazine.com presents Best Ever Afghans, 55 must-make patterns for Afghan lovers. And it says December 2011. I have all kinds of post-its and tabs in here on this one too, on ones that I thought were pretty or that I would like to try. But I gotta tell you, I don't think I actually made anything out of here. And that's the problem with us crocheters and knitters and quilters and crafters. We get so ahead of ourselves. The ideas sometimes come so quickly that we don't know how to pace ourselves, and we buy more patterns or we download free patterns, and we have such a big collection of stuff that we don't ever actually get around to doing. Now see, the sun disappeared again, and I bet you I'm sitting here in the dark. So I also find it very relaxing to flip through and look at the crocheted blankets, because I do get ideas and I do get inspiration. Even if I don't follow along with the patterns that are printed in the magazines, I get inspired myself to create something. Let's see. On the back page, they do a photo index of all the blankets. So I'm going to flip that around and show it to you. So see on this page, they're just tiny little thumbnails of all the blankets that are in here that they printed that have all patterns to them. So let's just pick a random one. How about the one on page 52? Yes, I like that because it's like a sample blanket. It has squares, it has flowers, it has stripes, it has texture, it has rows, like back and forth rows. Alright. What do you guys think of this one? I like the colors on it. But, you know, it's probably something that has to be made in panels or sections and then stitched together. Which can be, it can be busy when you do something like that. But I like the magazines. At the end of a busy day or a hard day or a frustrating day, it's nice just to flip through and look at the pictures of yarn and color combinations and stitch combinations. It can be very relaxing. So sometimes that's why we have so many pattern books floating around, right? I don't know. Do you guys collect stuff like this? I mean, if you watch the opening bit of this video, you know I've got a fair amount of books, and this is just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's just 10, and I've probably got 20 more in a different spot. So let's see. Annie's Crochet, 101 Stitches for Afghans by Jean Leinhauser. And it has charts in it. So I love it when they include the charts, because sometimes we can be very visual. So like reading the words when it tells you, okay, 20 single crochets, then 2 double, and it goes on and on and on with the pattern and the repeats. Sometimes the words can get all jumbled, but it's nice to follow along with the chart, and you can see the symbols and it shows you what you're doing. So I do like this one. This collection of stitches offers the crocheter a multitude of Afghan design options. So they're showing you stitch combinations, and then you can go create your own Afghan. I'm not so sure that copyright applies here because you're not stealing anything. They're giving it to you. They're showing you how to do it. I'm going to try and find a really good example of the chart, okay? So the patterns in here are listed with numbers too, like that's number 5. They don't actually have names to them. That was actually a good one. So this one has a chain. It has a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet, and a V-stitch. So this is the stitch key right here. It shows you the chain, the single crochet, the half double crochet, the double crochet, and the V-stitch. It's showing you the symbols, okay? And then down here, it's showing you the stitches in the rows with the symbols, so you can follow along. Like this row right down here. So it's like the initial chain, and then this first row is all half double crochets, and then you would chain 2, and there's a double crochet, and then a V-stitch. You know? I'm such a total nerd for the charts, I gotta tell you. I am a total nerd for the charts. Even when I'm working out my own patterns, when I'm doing my own thing, I do it with symbols and charts before I even use the written word. Let's see, I love this one here. Number 8. It has shells, and the shell on one side gets pushed out, so it creates this texture. I'm hoping you can see that. And I love that. The one thing I didn't like about this book is there are samples of what they did. Like, it's so hard to do it like this. Here's the picture of the sample, right? And then here's the written word for the pattern. And then here's the chart down at the bottom, right? But you see this picture of the sample? It's so tiny. I wish they had made it just a little bigger, so you can see what kind of stitches are going on here. So I do wish that the pictures were a little bigger. You see that? That's the only thing I didn't like about this book. I just wish the pictures were a little bigger, so when I'm like flipping through it, I can see it better. Especially with the little samples that they crocheted with white yarn, because it's white yarn on white paper, you know, so it's hard to see. Like this one here is basket weave, which you know is front post and back post double crochets. But I mean, and I can see some of the texture, but I just wish that picture was a little bit bigger. But again, it's another one that I have fun flipping through. And you know, I've only got one posted in here because only 1 out of 100 actually called to me and said, "Jenny, come make me." Only 1 out of 100, and yet I'm still holding on to the book. I should just do that one and let the book go, right? From Leisure Arts, and we should all know Leisure Arts. They have so many books out there. 40 favorite ripple Afghans. The best crochet designs from Crochet with Heart magazine. Yeah, there's a picture on the back of 4 of the ripple Afghans that are in there. And like with any crochet book, a lot of them will have, let's see, on the front, general instructions, abbreviations, gauge, crochet terminology, whether it's United States, which we call it a single crochet, or international, like in the UK, they call it a double crochet. So sometimes the terminology is different from country to country. It gives you a little chart down at the bottom on size of crochet hooks, because in the US we use numbers and letters, and while the rest of the world uses millimeters. It tells you how to measure your ripple Afghan, because see, once you start your initial chain, your ripple shrinks in a little bit. So they do give some basics going on. Now, have I done anything with this book? No. I have not made anything in here. But I mean, what they did was, yeah, I know, I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh wait, that one's cute. Oh wait, that one's pretty. They have a picture of the designer in here because they were running a contest. So first prize, second prize, third prize. So for the ladies who won the prizes, this lady won the second prize. So there's a picture of her, Carol Ann, and this is a picture of the blanket that she made. See her little snowman that she did down here in the ripple? I love that. It's absolutely beautiful. And I like the book because it gives you a big full picture of it, and then all the words and the charts are on other pages. I like that. I like how they made the pictures of the blankets take up the whole page. So I didn't make anything in here. Ripples are not my favorite to do, or chevrons. They're not my favorite because you really got to keep counting and make sure that you're at the beginning when you have to increase and decrease. So they're not my favorite. So this is one that I will probably sell on eBay and let this one go, because since I know that ripples and chevrons are not my favorite, I think I'm going to let this one go. Alright, let's check time on the camera, okay? See, once I get talking, I don't stop. So the next one I have up is still from Leisure Arts. It's Our Best Baby Afghans. Look at that little baby sitting there with a blanket. I love baby blankets. Even though my specialty is bigger blankets, the bigger the better for me. I have a lot of patience to make big blankets, right? I still love making baby blankets. They are short, sweet, to the point, and they're so quick to make, and they're so relaxing to make. I was going to see if I can find a publication date on this one. 1996. Where were you guys in 1996? I was going on 25 years old. Alright, let's see. I'm going to find... how about this one? This one's made with granny squares, okay? And it's got a dark pink and a medium pink and then white, okay? And the way they put it, it makes it look like it's gingham. And I think that's so pretty. But it's simple, you know, because it's granny squares. So, gingham checks. And again, it's a full picture. I like that. And then, what do they have over here on the side? They tell you the approximate finished size, because we all have different tension when we're crocheting. So some of us crochet big, some of us crochet tight, and it makes things small. The materials used, they're not telling you the yarn that they used, just what type of yarn that they used. Worsted weight, and it was 775 yards for the light peach color, 310 grams. And then they give you a sample for a gauge square. Like if you do a sample square, that your gauge should be 3.5 inches. And then they tell you how to make the square, how to assemble it, and how to do the ruffle. So, I mean, I do like the way they write everything out. and the pictures and the babies. I miss my kids being babies. Oh, there's another one with squares, but they have flowers in the middle. How cute is that? I'm not a big fan of blankets that have open stitches, mesh stitches, or lots of holiness to them. Like this one's got, it's a bit mesh where it's a double crochet, chain one, double crochet, so there's a space. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't like baby's fingers and toes going through it and getting stuck in there. I do like baby blankets to be solid, but the colors are nice. Because I like soft colors. But again, it's I have it and I go through this book when I need to relax. But I've never actually picked anything out and made anything. You see, I have no post-its and no sticky tabs to mark anything. I've never been inspired to do anything from here. I actually just kind of do my own thing with baby blankets. So I think this is another one I will probably sell on eBay and let this one go. And 100 colorful ripple stitches to crochet, 50 original stitches, and 50 fabulous colorways for blankets and throws by Leonie Morgan. Leonie, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I bought this in Joann Fabrics and Crafts a couple years ago, because I love the rainbow colors of, and the color combinations in here. You see, I have a piece of yarn in this pattern and a piece of yarn marking that one. There's a piece of paper there, and this is how because it's the only thing I had, when I found something that I liked. But I have since figured out that I am not a big fan of making ripples and chevrons. I'm just not drawn to them often. I mean, I like the look of them, but to make them, I don't know. So yeah, this talks about tools and techniques. It runs through the basics and the essentials. They give you a little sample in the front on how to determine your gauge. They give you a sample, and they used for a crochet hook a 4mm or a G, a 5mm or an H, and then a 6mm or an I. And they show you the difference. There's G, there's the H, and there's the I. So you see the difference in sizing. Just with the hook itself. Not even that, we ourselves, the way we crochet, we either do it really big or we do it really small and tight. So again, I like looking through this one. It is so creative with the way she did the chevrons and the ripples. All right, so chevron and ripple. A lot of people use the terms interchangeably. Ripple means that it has soft, gentle waves. That's what a ripple is. Chevron is those sharp points. Okay? So, let me show you. Because I do sometimes get frustrated when they use the terms and they're not quite using it the right way. Alright, here we go. Here's one. This I would consider the chevron. Okay, see how it comes up in a point? Now, it's a soft chevron, but to me that's not a ripple. This to me is a ripple, because you see how soft that is? It's like a wave, water. So to me, this is the ripple. So, Oh, this one. Love the colors on this one. She did 2 shades of purple and 2 shades of green. Oh, I love the color combination on this. Now, I wouldn't do it in this stitch or this pattern, but I love the color combination. 2 shades of green, 2 shades of purple. So that's why I've been holding on to this book, because I'm inspired with color in this book, but not by the shape and the chevron or the ripple. But it's still a fun book to look through. but I think I'm going to be letting this one go too. Because I think that's what my bookmarks are for. I think it's for color combinations. Alright, so this one's from Annie's Crochet. 101 Crochet Stitch Patterns and Edgings. So they give you stitch patterns, and then they also give you, they say edgings or trim or borders, okay? So there is a small section in the back that is with the borders, like my border book, okay? This one just does it like this. Shows you the first initial row, which is usually just a single crochet. And then, well, I think this is a reverse single crochet or a crab stitch. I love that as a border. And they changed the color. They went from white and red to white and yellow. So about 20 different edgings in the back there. So they show you, let's see, a sampler Afghan, swatches number 1 through 77, swatches number 78 through 81, a patchwork squares Afghan, edgings on 82 to 101. They have a couple 20 pages on the basics, getting started, chain stitching, working into the chain, single crochets, doubles, slip stitches, working with colors, reading patterns. There's a small chapter on how to read a pattern. So I like that these crochet books are starting to give you a little bit more information about things and not just assuming that you already know everything. So again, I find this one to be very relaxing when I flip through it, try to find a pattern that speaks to me and says, hey, come try me out. Oh yeah, I like this one. It's so it just says swatch number 18, but it looks like it has shells, and then it looks like it might have post stitches with it. So I do like the look of this one. This one's pretty. But you see they don't do charts. It is just the written word. So I do wish that they had charts to it, because I find the charts easier with the symbols. But the written word's okay too. But I like swatch number 18. See if I can find another one. Ooh, swatch number 30. I dog-eared that one. So again, they used white yarn and they printed it on white paper. But there's swatch number 30. And I marked that page, so I must like that one. Ah, there is a good example of the sharp points of a chevron. See that? See how sharp that point is? To me, that's a full-on chevron. And then some of the squares are just single crochets back and forth. They show you how to do half doubles, doubles, and I think it's because they have a blanket in here that is made with some samples. Oh, yeah. Alright, so this blanket here is, they're calling it their A to Z Sampler Afghan. So a lot of the stuff that they have on these pages here are done here in this Afghan, which is not the one that's on the cover. So the one that's on the cover must be further in the back. Hold on. Pages. Ah, yes it is. So that one they're calling Patchwork Squares Afghan. And they do give you all the squares that they used. I do like the texture and the colors on this. I like the jewel tones of it. I know I don't have any post-its in this one, but I do really enjoy this one. But I'm on the fence about whether or not I'm going to sell it and let it go or keep it. So this one I'm not sure about. Alright, I got 2 more to go. I'm going to do the Mandalas to crochet. Now, everybody says this word different. Mandalas or mandalas. And everybody says it differently. But what it is crochet. It's in the round. And, you know, you use it to make doilies or wall hangings. It's by Haafner Linssen. 30 great patterns. with large format charts, full instructions, and 7 inspirational projects. I mean, look how pretty that is. Now this one I did buy brand new, again at Joann's. I think my Joann's craft store, fabric store, has the better selection on books. But these, I have so much fun just looking at these. Will I ever make any? I don't know. To me, they always look like flowers, whether they're big or little. I love them. Yeah, see? They just all look like flowers to me. Even on this sample page, with everything being neutral colors. I love that. Oh, there's put some colors. Oh, they've got one that's pink, creamy white, and brown. Reminds me of chocolate, vanilla, strawberry ice cream, right? So those are fun. I don't know if I would ever make any of these and what I would do with them. Because while I love to crochet, I don't like to be surrounded by it. It's not like I want crocheted blankets and crocheted curtains and doilies and chair cushions and pillows and baskets. Oh, they even give you little tips on, like, when you crochet in a circle in the round, sometimes you get ruffling and sometimes you get cupping. It's because you either have too many stitches or you're doing not enough stitches, and so things get ruffled or they cup. So there's a little section in here on how to help you deal with that so it won't be like that, and how to hide your joins, because when you join in the round you'll see where you do your slip stitching and starting the next row. So they help you with that so you don't have any seams that show. Oh, and this page. Oh, I love the colors on this one. Especially this one in the middle. But see, I get so excited even just about looking at books. But it's a lot of books that I have, and I don't need them all, and I'll never be able to work through all of them. But if you like working mandalas and you like things that are done in the round, and where you can put them on your table, your coffee table, your side table, your end table, or hang them up on your wall for artwork, then I would absolutely pick this book up. It is definitely worth it. There are charts in here too with the crocheted symbols. It's a good book, and it's a fun book, and I've read through it, so it's easy to understand. Ah, see, now this one's done like a granny square, but it's a circle. I love the traditional look of a granny square, even when it's in a circle. Oh, that's my favorite. Yeah, I like that one, because it shows you how to increase as you're going around. And that's always a good thing. I like that one. That one's done in the back loop. Gives it some texture. I like this one. That looks like a color wheel. That one's pretty. So the front of the book will give you some tips on how to handle all those color changes. Oh, I wish I can give you guys a real flip through on it. Oh, how about this one? Oh, little tulips. It's where you do a cluster inside of a V-stitch. See, the green is the V-stitch, and then the purple is the cluster. That makes a tulip. Now, I love this. I've done this in crochet alongs, but in rows, mind you, not in circles in the round, but I love that. That's wonderful. Maybe I should make one just to make one, huh? Maybe that's what I can do, is go through the books and just pick one thing to make out of the book. And then let the book go so somebody else can enjoy it. I think my arm could handle that. There is a little section in the back on how to put some borders on. Like that's a Pico Stitch border going on there. Something that's lacy, something that's got some shells to it. And then there's a small section in the back on projects, how to make a bag if you wanted to make a bag. Hot pads, placemats for your table, make a scarf, or a little lap blanket. They just used the centers as flowers and stitched them together and made a blanket. Oh, this book is beautiful. You know, I think I'm going to do that, especially for this one. I think I'm going to pick one. I think that one with the tulips. Then I'll make one, and then I can let it go. But Mandalas to Crochet, 30 Great Patterns by Haafner Linssen. Oh, this is beautiful. I love this. Okay, last book. Okay, I know this video is going on and on. That's okay, I don't mind. I get excited about yarn stuff, and then I get excited about books, and this is books about yarn. Can't get any better than that, right? Crochet Stitch Dictionary, 200 Essential Stitches with Step-by-Step Photos by Sarah Hazel. This one I've had for a long time. Long time. It's one of my oldest stitch dictionaries that I have. Well, for as long as I've owned it. It was published in 2013. So even though some of my other books, they've been published way earlier, I haven't actually had them all that long. But this one does a directory of stitches. They do basic stitches. They break it up into categories. All right, hold on. Basic stitches. They do fans and shells. Puffs and bobbles, because a puff stitch and a bobble stitch are two completely different stitches. And if you know, you know. Spike stitches, relief stitches. They say relief stitches, but what they mean is front post, back post stitches. Mesh, fillet, and trellis. That's all open lacework stitching. Crossed stitches, interlocking stitches, waves and chevrons, decorative, where they add beads, and I'm not a big fan of putting beads in with crocheting, but that's just me. So yeah, I have a lot of fun with this book, picking through the stitches that I like. They do have a chapter on yarn weights and hooks and how to hold everything, how to block your work when you're done, and that's where you stretch it out and you wet it and then you pin it with pins to stretch it to its proper size and then let it dry. It's called blocking. How to work in rows, changing colors, sewing things together like a mattress seam, slip stitching, whip stitch to crochet squares together or to stitch the squares together, measuring gauge. So I do like it when the books put some of the basics in there and then they expand on that a little bit too. So number 1 is single crochets, and they show you multiples, and there are little pictures. Front loop single crochets, back loop single crochets, front and back where you alternate. So here they give a little picture of the single crochets. 2 little pictures of how a single crochet is made. The words and what kind of chain count you would need. And then down at the bottom there is a little chart with symbols. So that's just your basic stitches right there, right? And then alternating single crochets, and then they do half doubles, doubles, trebles, or triple, paired singles, paired half doubles, up and down again where it's a single crochet and then a double crochet and it goes up and down and it goes back and forth, okay? 3 and 2 where you do 3 double crochets in a stitch, and then the next one you do a V-stitch. So you get it, there's 3 double crochets like a granny, and then the next one would be a V-stitch. So, and a V-stitch is only 2 stitches, so 3 and 2, which I've done a similar version to that. It's funny, like, all right, I don't have a lot of battery left, so I gotta get this done. What I was going to tell you is that a lot of times I come up with my own stitch combinations just because of all the knowledge that I already have. And then I'll go through these stitch dictionaries and I'll see the same stuff that I already came up with. So there are times when you're going to see things that are similar from a crochet blog and to a crochet channel on YouTube, to the publishers and to the magazines, and you're going to find things that are similar, and you're going to think, oh, well, so-and-so stole that from so-and-so. That's not necessarily true. Yes, sometimes theft does happen with patterns. It does happen. It is a real thing. But other times there's just somebody like me whose grandmother crochets, and my great-grandmother, and my mom, and my aunt, and it's a lot of knowledge that's passed down from one generation to another. So I know a fair amount of stitching, and I know how to create my own patterns and designs. I may not write them down, and I may not copyright them, and I may not sell them, but they're still mine. I still came up with it all on my own. So if you ever see me do anything that looks similar to somebody else's, it's just a coincidence. Always and forever, it's just a coincidence. So the 3 and 2, I've done actually something very similar to that, because I love the 3 double crochets together and then with a V-stitch in front of it or next to it, and I love that look. So I do have a sample of it somewhere that I will find and get to someday. But I mean, I do like this book. This is one of my favorites. You'll see that I have a lot of post-its and a lot of things that I have bookmarked in here because this is my favorite. I found so many of my own stuff in here that I have done over the years. So evidently this book speaks to me because we do similar things. So this one I am definitely keeping because it speaks my language. But if you want to learn about crocheting and you want to come up with your own stitch combinations, the best thing to do is to pick up a book that has anything like Stitch Dictionary in the title, because they will give you examples to help you on your way and creating your own stuff and not always having to rely on somebody else's pattern. I know it's nice and easy to follow somebody else's pattern, but it's also, I have fun doing my own. So I would highly suggest Sarah Hazel, and that I love the format in this book, and you can see it's my favorite. Alright, so let's check the batteries one more time. I'm almost done, I promise. Alright, so I think that's it for today. I gave you a bookshelf tour of some of my crochet books, and then I showed them to you, and I talked a lot about them and what they mean to me. Some of them I use, and some of them I don't. So I am going to keep some, and I am going to sell some and let them go. Let somebody else enjoy them the way I have all these years. And I gave you some recommendations on what I think are the best, especially this one right here is the best for reference and research. Okay, and this one, if I had to recommend 2 to keep in your own collection, Crochet Stitch Dictionary, and then Around the Corner Crochet Borders. Okay, these 2 right here is what I would highly recommend to keep in your own arsenal of crochet books. Okay, now for fun, this one, hands down, for fun and for beauty and for art, this one is beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to call it quits there for today. I think I'm losing my batteries. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. Tell me, do you have books like I do? You have a collection of books like I do? Don't forget to subscribe. And I'm going to be back tomorrow on Saturday. I do have more projects to show you. I've been in a depressive episode lately, and I haven't been able to do much of anything. And I'm starting to come out of it. So I will see you guys tomorrow. So don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Jenny. Welcome to Granny Square Peg. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.